You love the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I need you to make some noise right now. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all thought I was by myself? Fruit, fall in. Bass. Hear him, listen to him. Where he says go, you go to. This is a song to me and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He's God's man, take it or leave it. Don't care if you believe it. You'll soon see it. Suffering servant, dedicated to black people, exalted to Messiah Jesus. He has no equals. Thank you for all you've done. We love you so much. We can never repay you, but I will say this much. The army is here. The FOI is here. The MGT is here. We have no fear. Soon as you give the word, just know that it's on. I pray that you receive this from your student album. Top band! Fruit Tin Hut! About phase! Original salute! Ready front! Fruit, move out! I felt organic steel. I knew when we embraced at the ghost phase, I said, nah, Gully's working with something. I know you know, whether it was weights or calisthenics, but I can see you got that mesomorph type frame where you got to find balance between both.
Definitely. Athlete all my life.
Yes, sir.
I can't let it go, man. I'm stuck on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to everybody, the bartenders and everybody who brought that and spread that information to the community, because once it hit the DVD circuit, everybody got on it, and it's become a part of hip hop culture actually.
Absolutely, hip hop culture is
people
global.
Rap about it, all of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Black Rob. I love Black Rob. I worked with him, and he was real passionate. So I know how he made you feel when he stepped to you about the craft. Tell me about this encounter that you had with KRS One that led to you having a record deal with Warner.
So what built up to that was just doing a lot of music, trying to find my way. I was rhyming with my brothers. I had a crew called the Wild Bunch. My brother Kid J and Swain and my brother DT. We had a powerful crew, and we were trying to get a record deal. And then it just got to a point where I wanted to go the solo route and just do this work. So my hunger, my desire, my passion to get a recording contract was at an all-time high. I told my brothers in 7 Up, I said, when I get home, I'm going to get on, and when y'all come home, I'm going to put y'all on. So I was highly motivated to do this. With that being said, I did Future Flavors at that time. Pete Rock and Marley Marl had a show called Future Flavors, and my brother Nick T, peace to Nick T, brought me to Pete Rock's house. Pete whipped his beat up. I did a Future Flavors thing. Then my brother D.O., Damian Blyden, who was the president of A&R and Universal, who was also the manager of AZ. He sent my brother Jig to find me. Jig said, yo, D.O. wants to sign you. I went down to Universal. I signed with D.O. And from there, life went up. I had the opportunity to do records with the Trackmasters, RZA, Ty Fife, Bink, Spunk Bigger. And we went to Craig Cowman's office at Atlantic Records. He gave me my first demo budget, and unfortunately, Craig, they said they didn't know how to market me for what I stood for. So at this time, I was with D.O. and the firm was moving around. At this time, the firm was moving around, and D.O. introduced me to AZ and introduced me to $500,000, and I had an opportunity to get on the stage with $500,000 too, the legendary, powerful $500,000, and it was a goal to actually do a record with $500,000, but unfortunately, our brother lost his life. So from there, I was just doing these demos, and somehow KRS One got a hold of it. I got a phone call. I was wanted to meet KRS One teams at Eddie F. Mansion in Jersey. I went out there, and met this brother named Willie D. And Willie D was like, yo, listen, straight to business. KRS One want to sign you to Warner Brothers. I'm like, Warner Brothers? I thought it was Profile. He said, Warner Brothers. He said, KRS One is flying in, I think in a couple of days, and he wants to take you up to Hot 97. So now life is starting to change now. So I got on the phone with KRS One, we spoke. You know, he gave me some jewels. We going up to Hot 97. He said, yo, we're going to freestyle the Funk Master Flex. So I made it up to Flex. Bombs was dropped. KRS One signed me exclusively to Reprise Records, where he was the president of Reprise Record. 6-figure advance.
Right.
Things was moving in a crazy way then.
Yeah. So your skill set, you get busy.
Super busy.
Okay, see, I've come across MCs who are studio rappers.
Right.
Go in the studio and make a song. But you one of them brothers where you could just turn on the beat and just go ahead and kill shit.
Thank you, beloved. And I would be remiss if I didn't shout out Herb Mcgruff.
My guy.
All right, Herb Mcgruff. So I'll tell you a story real quick. So Herb Mcgruff was working on this project, Destined to Be.
Yeah. That
was my first project I'm on. So if you go back and listen to what part of the game is that,
yeah.
It was me, Killer Cam, Panama P.I. and Gruff.
Yeah. So
you may remember the verse, Farad Wali Abdul Rahman Mohammed. That's when I started the verse off. I let the God knowledge my book of life.
Right.
He read it like twice. 5% shine, the days, degrees life, my attributes like.
Right.
So go back for brothers that don't know, pick up Destined to Be. And how crazy is this that it was between me and Black Rob to get that part on that song.
Yeah.
Me and my mentor. And it was a back and forth thing, you know, because at that time Hev had almost put the whole Bad Boy on McGruff's album. You had the Locks on there, you had Mace on there. Yeah. And, you know, to get Black Rob, I think, you know, I don't want to, you know, the owner Bad Boy at that time, we know who he is. Yeah. He wanted a lot of money, and Hev was like, yo, why are we going to pay pay all this money for Black Rob? Not saying he's not worth it.
Yeah.
And we got our born right here.
Right.
And that was my first big record right there.
When I encountered you I met you at Ghostface's party, and then I encountered you a little bit later on Instagram. I thought you was a nigga trying to get on, man. You highly decorated veteran, man. Why am I just now meeting you? I've been out here for 18, 19 years running around with this camera, man. How did we miss each other? It had to have been the bow tie that attracted us. I mean,
yes.
I don't know how I had Destined to Be. I had that CD.
Right.
And you naming these guys, man, like, you got a rap sheet. You got a musical rap sheet.
Yeah, brother, you know, and I'm blessed, and all praises due to Allah. Like, I had the opportunity to be around some, like I said, when the Firm was doing their album,
yeah,
you know, after the Phone Tap video, I was there for all that.
Right.
You know, I've been inside a room with Nas, and I had the opportunity to be around that type of energy right there. With AZ working on, you know, his album, because like I said, we had kind of like the same manager. Dio was responsible for AZ's first project.
Yeah.
Damian Blyden, big up to Dio. And, you know, like I said, even with that, you know, I was on another big record. This is a freestyle. If you do the history, it was called New York Freestyle. It was myself, Big L, CL Smooth, and McGruff.
Right.
And, you know, this wasn't one thing where Big L did his verse. Like, I was literally in the studio with Big L.
Yeah.
And Big L dropped some serious jewels on me. And may Allah be pleased with Big L. Very knowledgeable. One of the dopest MCs that like ever walked the planet.
Right. And
Big L dropped something heavy on me one time. And I tell everybody the story after we did the freestyle. You know, we gotta keep it real, right? At this particular time, I smoked weed.
Right.
I was a heavy weed smoker.
Right.
And there was a spot called Smiley's on 140th. And we used to all get our weed from there. And from there, we would go down 139th, and you would see Gruff. You would see that's the block where Cam is from, Mace, Big L. And I remember coming down the block one day, and I saw Big L. He was out there by himself, shining. And I said, "L, what's up?" He said, "Boy, what's good, bro?" He said, "Yo, let me ask you a question." He said, "You ever get paid for that freestyle?" I said, "Nah, Big L, I ain't get paid, man." I said, "I did that for free." He said, "Boy, you don't never do nothing for free." He said, "I don't care what you trying to do. Don't ever do nothing for free." He said, "Speaking of that, I ain't get my money either." I shook Al's hand. We gave each other an embrace, man, and you know, time happened, and you know, we lost our brother. One of the greatest losses in hip hop.
Right.
With Big Al.
Speaking of one of the greatest losses in hip hop, Tell me what it was like building with Half a Mill. Half a Mill was one of the first rappers who consistently made me need resource guides. I needed a thesaurus, encyclopedias, dictionaries, a whole bunch. I needed a whole bunch of support to like digest what the hell he was saying.
Half a Mill's wordplay was incredible. We know Half a Mill was God Body and the 5% Nation, Gods and Earths. And like I said, I met Half a Mill through AZ and D.O. And I guess one night they were having a show in Jersey. We went to go pick A up, and we went to the show, and I had the opportunity to grace the stage with Half a Mill and AZ. And everybody was like, yo, if you and Half a Mill do a record together, it would be a problem. I mean, what did he say? Flying saucer engine, Kaiser with the flying saucer.
Kaiser Sosa intention, gliding in the Hummer with the flying saucer engine.
Willied out.
Yeah.
Yo, like, yo, Project Amin Ra.
Yeah.
Yo, so Half a Mill was so deep, and I think that because of our affiliation with the 5% Nature, Gods and Earths, the way that Half a Mill put his words together and dropped seeds in there, like you would really hear the record back then, hear the record right now, like, damn, I missed that?
That happens to me often.
I missed what he said.
Yeah.
Like Half a Mill, if he would have got that record out, that album out,
right,
Half a Mill would probably be in everybody's top 5.
Yeah.
Easily.
He's my favorite rapper.
Nah, yeah. Half a Mill.
Yup. Rest in peace to him, man. I never met him. I met his family, but he's somebody who he kind of fused this fly guy intelligent thing.
Absolutely.
And it made it like fashionable to me. I believe that's what just had me stuck on him. You know what I mean? And I never met him. Just this is all off wordplay and philosophies. You know what I'm saying, that I picked up from his music.
A lot of MCs that heard Half a Mill got something from Half a Mill.
Yeah.
I don't care if you was on already or established. When you heard Half, he was on.
Right. Tell me about we have to if we talking Mount Vernon, we of course have to mention Sean Combs. Did you have any encounters? You grew up there. They say that he's a native of Mount Vernon. Any interactions with Diddy? Do you know him? Anything like that?
Yeah. So let's be clear. Like he's definitely from Harlem.
Okay.
He moved there, I believe, maybe sometime in high school. I believe he went to Mount St. Michael's High School. That's on the borderline of the Bronx and Mount Vernon. It's like a private school, really good school. My first interaction was my brother Walt G. Used to do work with Puff's mother, Miss Combs, Janice Combs. We call her Mama Combs, beautiful woman. And he wanted me to do a talent show with Miss Combs. I did the talent show with Miss Combs. It was good. So then I had another brother named Mike Daddy. Mike Daddy used to cut Puff's hair. So at this particular time, I had did a freestyle, and it kind of went viral back then in the 90s. So he was like, yo, I'm going to bring you down to Puff. You know, I'm going to try to get you signed with Puff. And he kept his word. We went down to Daddy's house. I had some demos, and back then they were on the tape, and it wasn't the best quality. It was on TDK tape. Sat down with Puff, and you know, everybody tell you this ain't Puff. You could think you got the best record in the world, and the streets are loving it, and you know, Puff at that time was just showing no movement. But then he was like, yo, it's good, but I need to get it on a better quality tape. Right. And after that, I think that was around the time when Big had transitioned, and you know, it never happened. But that was my encounter with Puff. Matter of fact, I saw him at 4th Street Park one time, and I walked up to him. I'm like, yo, I don't know if you remember me, man, but I said, you know, I did some work with your mother. She did a talent show. Of course, he act like he didn't care. Yeah. It is what it is.
Right.
But that was the only like interaction that I had with Puff.
Okay.
But he's not a real Mount Vernon native like that.
Got it. Mount Vernon and Yonkers is next door to each other? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Any DMX encounters?
Oh, yeah, X. So
let's talk about the Dark Man.
Yo, X, one of the greatest MCs that has ever walked this planet. I'll tell you a funny story. So we was in Valhalla. Valhalla is a jail where anybody from Westchester, we go there like anybody from the Five Boroughs goes to Rikers Island, we go to Valhalla. And on this particular day, X got locked up. We all in the minor block. and X was rhyming for cigarettes. And yeah, because back then, I mean, you know, he smoked. So at this particular time, everybody was giving him cools. I can literally tell you, I heard Sesame Street, where he's talking about Big Bird on crack. I heard Spellbound before there was a K Solo.
For real?
I heard it with my own ears.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm telling you this. Because now, when X left Valhalla, he went to Long Island. I guess that's where he met him. So before he even went to there for that charge, he said that. He also had this other rhyme, and I told my son this. And X was one of the first artists that I would see. He could do a beat and rhyme at the same time. And he was doing it one night, right? And he got to this part of this rhyme, and the only thing I can remember, he was like, he took the part from Michael Jackson, like, he said something, he's like, "You're just another part of me." And I'm like, yo. Like, DMX was like the first rapper our age that I said was radio label material. Yeah. You know, label material. So going forward, X had a couple of money. So I was in this minor block for a minute. So in this particular time, Little Wolf, may Allah be pleased with him, Big Wolf's brother was in Valhalla. So I was a porter. You know when you're the porter.
Wolf Jones.
Yeah, Wolf.
Okay.
You know Big Wolf? That was Puff's bodyguard. Yeah. His younger brother, we called him Little Wolf.
Little Wolf, got it.
Looked just like him. You know, that was my man. So DMX was up in this thing called the Civil Cells. So it was so overpopulated that they had to put him up on another floor in 3 West. So in this particular time, I was in the law library building with the guards. So I was on my way back to the cell block, and my man Ramel hit the window. He said, "Yo," he said, somebody got me. And I'm like, "What you mean they got you?" He said, "Yo, all my clothes is going out of my cell." I'm like, "How was that?" So funny story. So Wolf got DMX to come down, went to the cell block. So now you had. It was A side and B side. I was on the B side. So when I walk over there and I'm saying to myself, I'm like, "Yo, why is X over here? Why is Wolf over here?" I'm like, "You on that side? Why he's not on your side?" You know, I'm a street dude, so I put 2 and 2 together. I walk past all the cells, and now X is looking at me. I'm looking at X. Wolf looking at me. I'm looking at Wolf. I go to my man's cell. It was cleaned out. Nothing. So I'm sitting there. I go inside the shower room. I'm looking. They're looking at me. We still look. Nobody's really saying much of nothing.
Right.
So the garbage was right there. Big garbage. They're very smart how they did this. So X took the whole cell, packaged it up, put it at the bottom of the garbage bag, at the bottom of the garbage can, but he put a brand new garbage bag on top of it, so you couldn't tell. So I'm sitting there, because I do the garbage, and I know it wasn't time for the garbage to be changed. So I'm looking at both of them. What we doing, yo? I picked my mans up. You know what I mean? Yo, CO cracked 2 cell, and I threw his thing in there. And I think that really pissed X off. You know what I mean? Because guess what? That was going out to the world. Yeah. We teenagers though. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that, you know, that was a real funny story. And then to see X get on and do what he did, man, was incredible.
Was it shocking?
It was, because I mean, we know what was going on, but his talent was so incredible. The only person in prison that I compared him with was Black Rob. Yeah. Those 2 brothers at that time was at an elite, optimal level that I've never heard anything. When I was with Black Rob, if you go to his, what's it, Life Stories? Yeah. You know the song Jasmine?
I love that song.
He wrote that song when we was in the same dorm. That's how old Jasmine is. Wow. On every bone in my body, he wrote Jasmine in Marcy Correctional Facility in C dorm.
Yeah, I knew that was an institutional song when I heard that. Right. Because I done been around guys in jail. Only guys in jail got time
to create something so masterful.
Yeah, to put that much detail into it. Like I've seen guys make, you said, raps about Sesame Street and all type. Right. That's all jail. That's all jail.
Because you're locked in, and like I said, even when I was able to tap in, your mind is so clear. Right. That you could just pull from everywhere and create just incredible songs about everything. And a lot of people don't give Black Rob his credit when it comes to storytelling. I've heard some serious rhymes.
He'll make you cry.
Now, BR was the truth.
Yeah.
BR was the truth, and I'm not just saying it, like BR was the truth.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, 2024, man, what can we expect from Iborn?
Greatness. I'm introducing the world to the kingdom of the Black God. I was blessed with the opportunity to do a project with the Heatmakers, my brother Arsonist. As I was almost 3/4 done with my last project, I got with Arsonist. He did really big records for me. Frontline with Junior Reed, Look What I've Become, and also the record with myself and Saigon and Wise, None of Your Business. So, Arsonist was like, you know what? We should do a project together. And we did something, brother. And Arsonist really wanted me to walk in my light. He said, Joe, I've never seen somebody galvanize men like you galvanize men. He said, when I see people come out for you, you will give me a feeling of Chuck D. And I'm like, you know what, I don't really know if I really wanted to walk in that, because we got this thing in the Nation of Islam where we're classified as nation rappers. Right? So
That's right.
Donique would be classified as a nation rapper, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
You would be classified as a nation rapper.
Yes, sir.
But me, I didn't feel I was qualified to be called a nation rapper. But Arsonist saw something in me, and we went to work. And I have 9 songs, and the project is called Born Again. And I have some powerful guest features I'm going to tell you right now. I got Raekwon on the album. Yeah, I got Raekwon the chef on there. Oh, my Lord. Featuring my brother Docs. I got Joel Lord. It's night and day, because I'm walking in my Islam.
Right.
But I'm doing it in a manner where I'm not preachy.
Right.
I'm still giving you cutting edge of a fine balance with street and Islam.
Yes, sir.
Because,
Yes, sir.
in this walk, if we're too preachy,
Right.
nobody want to hear that.
I need you to run that guest list, the features. That was just powerful. Run it by me again, please.
So once again, I have a song called The Initiated featuring Raekwon from the legendary Wu-Tang Clan. And how dope is this? That on my first project, I worked with Ghostface Killer. To have be able to work with 2 brothers from the Wu-Tang Clan, we talking about Chef
Elites.
and Ghost.
Yeah.
Right? Joel Ortiz, one of the hardest lyricists, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something about Joel Ortiz while I have this opportunity to say something. Joel was so influential in giving me guidance in this new dispensation of how to make records. Because I'm from the 316, 4-bar hook era. So Joel said, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Just do it like this and do it like that. So he opened my mind up to different things, brother. And I have a song, also, let me get back, Jim Jones, called The Light, featuring Angel Hill. Brother, these records is powerful. And everybody know the Heatmakers. We talking a man that sold more than 30 million records. We're talking responsible for Dipset and so many other artists that he tailor-made this project for me. Born Again, and with the first single is Executive Council, featuring Ashe, Karan, and Donique. And brother, when you see this, brother, it's a masterpiece.
Sounds like it.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. I've said this on my platform. Why is Jim Jones a necessary ingredient on a hip-hop project coming from New York? I noticed this repeatedly. He just was on Ghostface album, the most recent one.
Right.
And I tell people, they don't have to agree with me. If you make a Mount Rushmore of New York City rappers from the last 20 years, Jimmy's going to be on there.
Well, one thing I tell you about Jim, not only Jim's connection to the Heatmakers, I had the opportunity, we did a big concert in Mount Vernon called City Fest, and Jim came up and performed for me. I brought Jim out on stage. I was introduced to Jim by the God Wise. I knew of his work from Dipset and his other projects that he did, but my bro said, Joe, listen to El Capo. He said, have you heard El Capo?
Yeah.
And I was like, now Cypher, I didn't hear El Capo.
Right.
He said, God, tap into that. And I put that on from start to finish. And not only the way that, Arsonist tailor-made the beat, but to hear Jim in the zone, in the writing zone. And right now, that project right now is probably at almost 180 million streams worldwide.
Yeah.
Very, very big project, man. And like, yo, Jimmy is just so New York. He's Harlem, Jim is Jim. And just Jim brings a certain ingredient to something, a certain flamboyant Harlem nature And
he got it.
He got it.
Some guys got it, man.
You know, and on top of that, let me say something, man. Jim loved the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
Right.
Let's be clear with that.
Right.
You know, so Jimmy is he's a sympathizer. He's a good brother, man. He's a solid brother.
Looking forward to hearing this project that you have coming. I'm looking forward to hearing more from you. But quickly, before we get up out of here, tell me about this magazine right here. And
so this magazine,
you're appearing on the cover. That's a great look right there.
YKTV.
And I need one of them bucket hats.
Brother, you see that? Let me tell you, this bucket hat was done by my brother Fachetti, my brother Sonny from Mount Vernon. He's my stylist. Okay. And when he puts it on, he puts it on. So Sonny did that. But this book right here, this YKTV, this is like the #1 magazine in prison. These books are all over the feds, everywhere, the state of New York. I got connected to put my story in here. The Fly Guard was in here. What's our brother from Buffalo?
West Side Gun.
West Side Gun.
Yeah.
You know, so we got just a full layout. It just goes through my whole life, through hip hop and everything. Shows just my travel and everything. Right. So YKTV, and that's just for my brother Gully right here, man.
Right. I was in the dark, man, about a lot of the you got dimensions. I was in the dark, man. You cheated me. You were supposed to be on my album. You were supposed to be on Pillmatic
when I saw you drop that, I said, and I saw a Kill on there, and I saw a couple of other bros. But guess what, though, bro?
I thought you was a bartender, man, in the Nation of Islam guy trying to rap. Nah. You a rapper, man. You a real rapper.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you was supposed to be on my project, man. That would have been great.
I'm on the next one, right?
100%. 100%. Donique was on my first one, man.
Yeah. So
I grew up in the Nation, man. I grew up in the Nation, man. I grew up in the old Nation. Right. And I feel that they was a lot more aggressive back then, assertive.
Yes, sir.
Right? And I don't always agree with the present day Nation. And I get frustrated sometimes about how the public receive them now. Right. There's things that's said now that people wouldn't dare say back then. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just elated, man, that you representing. I didn't know Donique. I interviewed him a couple of years ago, right. And I'm who I am, man. But I'm always 100% support what's going on in the Nation, even though I ain't rocking the bow tie no more. I did rock it. You know what I'm saying? Right. I did rock it. Right. So I just have to say this before we get up off of here. When I met Chaz Williams, it was always something about him, right? Chaz Williams from Black Hand Entertainment. He's moved on to the Essence. He's passed away. He was a gangster from Queens and a prolific bank robber. Right? Right. And it was something about him. Yeah, he's super bank robber. Right. Something about him, I couldn't put my finger on it, man. It just was something, right? And then one day I looked on Instagram and he had on the Fruit of Islam, top to bottom, the hat, everything, and I said, I knew it! I knew it! Yes, sir. I knew it, man. So I thought you would know who Chaz was. I'm gonna put you down with him so you familiar with who I'm talking about. He done passed away. Okay. But that strength, man, that militancy, that blackness, man, is unmistakable, man.
Well, you know, not to cut your wisdom, beloved, but let me say this, right? So the FOI, the Fruit of Islam. We're talking about powerful, dignified, upright black men who love their community, who love the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who is the eternal leader of the Nation of Islam, and who love the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We are soldiers for Muhammad. Right. We are rebranding, and we are coming back out more power. We never disappeared, but you're going to see us at a high rate in every city. Everywhere you turn around, it's going to be Bow Tie City. Sure. And as I said in my rhyme, The Initiated, right? What did I say? I said, fearlessness sounds like insanity to a coward. For the initiated, those who hold power. I heard y'all was looking for me, but couldn't find me. I'm in a hood near you with 1,000 bow ties behind me. Moving like the black guard move, you know how I do. Flawless, undeniable, come over at my gospel. But I'll let y'all pick that up on Born Again. The Initiated featuring Raekwon. FOI forever.
No That's doubt. Right. That's right. Brother Iborn, tell my viewers where they can find you at. Tell them where they can pick up the Final Call newspaper ad, tell them what a bean pie supplier ad. Something that I hate.
Right.
People try. I'm from Pennsylvania. I did time with the Philly guys. They Sunni heavy over there, right? Boom. And they always be taking shots at the nation. And I tell them, y'all have something against the nation. Everything is wrong with the nation, but y'all stole that bean pie. Y'all stole that bean pie. That belongs to the nation. Everything else they find fault, but they took the bean pie and ran with it, man.
Well, you know what to say about that. What did the most honorable Elijah Muhammad say? Right? He said you never condemn a dirty glass of water. Right. You put a clean glass next to it. Right? That's right. So let's be clear with that, right? You put that clean glass next to that dirty glass, what you gonna drink from?
Clean glass.
You know, all I would say, our Islam and our deen is exact. We were taught by God in person, the Mahdi, the wisest of all, who governs the wheel, who's on the wheel, with the exalted risen Christ, who is now Mahdi at his side, who controls all the weather, whether you believe it or not. We believe it, and we move on that, and that's why the Nation of Islam and Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been blessed so abundantly. You know, people can't speak about the minister because the minister sat down with every great sheikh in the Nation of Islam overseas. So these same ones that talk about
it was embraced, supported,
given crowns and adorned with so many things. So say what have you done?
Rayford Alston, also known as Skip to My Lou, Southside Jamaica Queen, and you watching Gully TV.